All set? Hi, I'm Brian and I'm here with Will and Will's dad. What's your name? Don? Anyway, so I'm down in Milwaukee and got a call from Will that the bees need a home. And they just showed up today, is that right, guys?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So what we're going to do here is the usual, trim off the limbs that are the little branches that are not associated with the swarm. And I keep meaning to do this, but I'm remembering to do it this time. But see how gentle the bees are? You can touch them. They're warm. And you can put your finger all the way through into the swarm and they won't sting you at all. So, just to let everybody know that if they see a swarm of bees, they are not aggressive. They're totally cool. I'm also looking to see the variety of color of bees. And these bees, I see big bees and dark bees and light bees, which is typical of a good swarm. You'll see bees that, what this means is it means that the queen had a lot of different sorts of drone sperm in her, so that the daughters that she laid are of really diverse backgrounds, which is all part of health for a hive. So, whoop. I'm about to clip, but I'm clipping a little early. I'm seeing that there's another branch here that I can remove.
Oh my god.
So I'm going to remove that one. And I've got a pretty clear shot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip it, I'm going to lift it up and away so that it doesn't bump into these branches. And it's times like these that I wish that I were ambidextrous, but I'm really very right-handed. So we come in here, and the goal here is to clip it, but not have those bees shake much if I can avoid it. Here we go. So the limb is free now. It's just a matter of flying it off without bumping into those branches. And just laying it on right in the box, nice and slow. And the queen is in there. So there's a queen in here, and this queen, I'm going to trim this edge out here. I'm going to have to work a little bit fast or these bees might want to crawl up to the top of the cardboard box, and I want to avoid that. But there's a queen in here, and the queen, she, because she laid such a diverse range of daughters and made the hive really strong and happy, she laid so many baby bees that they ran out of room at the old hive. So what this represents here, this represents about half of the worker bees. They haven't fed her for the last 5 to 7 days, and they run her around the hive to help her lose some weight. Because if you're laying eggs a lot, like if you're laying more than your own weight in eggs a day, you really don't have, you can't fly. You have to kind of cut her off and put her on a diet and get her on an exercise program so that her weight is such that she can fly. And then they guide her out of the old hive. And the old hive is somewhere, like maybe a quarter mile somewhere around here. There's a hive that this swarm came from. And back at the old hive, the new queen's about to hatch out. So what you're going to have here, Will and Don, is you're going to have some of these scout bees are going to want to find this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this box here, like so, with the queen in it. So we have our queen in there. And I'm going to cut a little hole in the top of the hive. And through that hole, there's going to be worker bees that will that are in the box, and they'll come to the top, and they'll come over here and they'll stick their butts in the air and they'll fan to tell the bees that are loose to come join mom. That way we get all the bees instead of most of them.
Did you ask
if they were honeybees.
Oh, I did not.
Are these honeybees?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good. They're not killer bees from South America?
Well, killer bees are honeybees also.
Oh, are they really?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But these aren't those, right?
No, these are really gentle.
I was going to say, you're just walking around
Oh,
over there.
yeah.
You're not worried about being stung?
Well, I only get worried about being stung if I've got a whole bunch of bees and I'm not closed up, and I drop something and the bees are like scattered around, or if you're messing around inside their hive, because this is just a swarm of bees. This is just a ball of bees on a limb. They're not in an enclosed space.
So they don't feel threatened right now, even though they look very agitated.
There's a real difference between bees flying. They're a little upset now because the swarm is gone, but it's a worry, not an anger sound. So when they're happily flying, it's a nice low tone. This is a little bit faster tone, but they make a really high tone if they're ticked off at you.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah, they'll go "Meow," like that, and they'll come fly for your hair and stuff like
got
that.
a little lesson.
Oh yeah.
I have to take a picture so I can.
These guys got the whole body. See these bees?
Yeah.
See them, Will?
Mm-hmm.
This bee right here is wiggling her back end, and you can see the difference in color. Can you get a close up on that, Will? Or you can hand me the camera if you want. But see how this bee is much lighter in color compared to the one on the right? So the parentage between these two bees is really distinct, and they are doing that homing scent. And now they're trying to do the homing scent on my finger. So they are fanning out the smell to draw these senior worker bees in to join. Because what happens is, so they leave the old hive, they clump onto a branch, and then the senior workers fly in all directions to find a suitable home, and they come right back to the swarm, and they literally dance the location by wiggling their butt around on that swarm ball. And different bees will have different sites for fact checkers to go and either verify or deny. So ultimately, an agreement is made. You get like 60-65% of the total bees agreeing on a spot, and then the outside bees tell the inside bees to get warm. When the inside bees are warm, they tell the outside bees they are warm, and then the outside bees bust up the swarm by flying away from it and ramming it, and then they all take to the sky in 60 seconds, like onion layers peeling off. And then these same senior bees that are flying around us right now, they guide the ball in the air by coming to the back, flying into the cloud a little bit, pointing in the direction of where to go, and then when they get to the front of the cloud, they go up and around, and they repeat that. So they're always kind of pointing which way to go. And then when they get to the home, they do just what they're doing here. They land on the entrance and they fan, and everybody will smell the pheromone and they'll get drawn into it. And then as soon as they're at that new home, what they do is they start to build wax right away. In fact, if we were to look closely at some of these bees, you can even see some of them will have wax, they'll have little wax flakes emerging from their abdomen, because bees they turn nectar into wax, and it's excreted out. They have 2 rows of 4 on the underside of their abdomen, and so these little wax flakes pop out, and they're able to reach it with their legs, and that's how they form honeycomb.
Well, were they making a hive? Were they going to make a hive there?
No. This is just a way station. The mother hive is somewhere nearby, but this is just a way station. And what they do is once they're all together with the queen, then a couple of hundred of the senior worker bees will leave this group, fly in all directions, find a hole somewhere, and they'll come back and they'll say, "I found a good home."
Okay.
And that's where the debate happens, because one bee's going to say, "Let's go over here," and another bee's going to say, "Let's go over there." And so fact checkers verify or deny the claim of those scout bees. Yeah.
Were you a bee in your past life? You know an awful lot of.
I've been doing it since I was 14.
Really? That's
I'm
awesome.
56 now, so.
That's awesome. I mean, that's just great to know all this.
Well,
so how long do you think they might have been accumulated there? I mean, they weren't there last.
They've only been here for a little while, right?
Yeah, recently.
I don't think they were there last weekend at all.
Oh no. These. Oh, there's a ladybug too. They. With weather like this, it's really rare, number one, and it's a great thing. I mean, It's a great thing that,
Just
yeah, all you gotta do is walk away. Don't flap.
No, I like to scream and flap my arms.
But that'll excite the bees. They're like dogs. They'll smell fear.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to center yourself there. But anyway, one of the coolest things. One of the coolest things about getting swarms locally is that this proves that some bees can thrive in our climate. So,
Well, that's interesting.
you know, because we've got cold and wet. It's just getting colder and wetter, you know, up around here. So it's a real challenge for bees. Bees don't like cold and wet. They like warm and dry.
Oh,
So it's cool that this is happening.
don't flap your arms.
No, you should land on my eyeball. I can swing at that one.
I'm with you. I would flail. I'm getting a lesson as well.
Oh, you are?
We
Oh, cool.
saw it yesterday, and I went over and told your son.
Oh, it landed last
My son
night.
noticed it, so we didn't see it prior to yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, because when the weather's really cold, they won't go anywhere. Are they going after you, Don?
They are.
Bummer.
You just.
They smell your fear.
Huh?
They smell your fear.
No, I'm not in my garden.
You can turn it off now.